With a career in esports spanning nearly 9 years, Lunatic-Hai's EscA was a household name in more ways than one. He was Korea's golden child, but for a number of reasons, Overwatch just did not click with him. EscA was always seen to be a glue guy, a strong leader for his teams. But if he stayed with the Seoul Dynasty throughout the first Overwatch League season and beyond, what may have happened? First, we have to establish Seoul Dynasty's big issues that I believe plagued them throughout the first season. The team lacked a strong and experienced Winston Tracer duo, they had a strange DPS rotation, and the absence of an in-game leader left them kind of lost at times. In other titles, EscA has been well respected as a star player, earning multiple championships and MVP votes. However, things in Overwatch were much different. In Overwatch, he was a fantastic role player that got overlooked because of some unfortunate circumstances. What people tend to forget is that EscA was quickly forced to learn Tracer after an unfortunate circumstance where Lunatic-Hai's main Tracer player Lee Tae-jun was forced to step down from the roster. Was EscA a strong Tracer player?
So the old advantage still goes to Lunatic-Hai despite the strong push.
Well, that is going to be a pulse bomb doing absolutely nothing.
Not necessarily, but he was a role player that allowed his team to play their style. From my understanding, people were very fond of playing with EscA. Former teammate Miro spoke recently on stream about this, stating, EscA honestly did so much for our team. He'd organize us amidst all the chaos, but he'd organize all of it. He would still manage to yell the loudest, saying, hey, listen to me. And then he'd tell us, since they use this and this, next fight we can use this. With a plethora of experience in other traditional FPS titles, I wonder what kind of Widowmaker performance we could have seen from EscA. Would he have rivaled Carpe, Birdring, or even Saya player? That's pretty unlikely, but EscA always put the team first and could have picked up the hero and trained it to a decent degree. This could have opened Fleta to becoming Seoul's true star player on heroes like Genji, Junkrat, or even Pharah. Wakid had his moments on some projectile heroes, but he was not the most consistent player on his team, which resulted in a strange dichotomy when it came to DPS substitutions. This caused Fleta to have to carry the load of DPS heroes, whereas his teammates focused on more of their bread and butter. EscA could have at least helped mitigate this. What we can say is that EscA's other hit-scan heroes, mainly Soldier 76, McCree, and Sombra, were all held up to a high standard. With this in mind, we could have at least seen him flourish like Pine did for the NYXL. Stage 3 of the Overwatch League could have seen EscA playing a good amount of Soldier 76 on Nimbani, he could have run McCree on Ilios, and he could have even returned to his comfort pick in Sombra on maps like Blizzard World and Oasis. However, does this solve the Dynasty's Winston and Tracer duo dilemma? I'm inclined to say no, at least not really. He and Miro had experience playing through numerous Apex seasons together, and it would have made things more cohesive overall, but this system never really would have fit EscA's more supportive style of Tracer. At peak potential, EscA could have turned the team around. His in-game leadership and tendency to put his team first would have helped Seoul Dynasty remain a little bit more consistent through Season 1 and possibly given them their first stage playoff berth. And at the very least, EscA could have been a fantastic specialist player to substitute in for certain maps while being a player coach behind the scenes. Now, for experiment's sake, let's extend out our reach a bit. What happens in the current metagame? Would EscA have improved Seoul if he stayed all the way until Overwatch League Season 2? Well, noting his supportive nature and proficiency in tracking, I could actually see him playing a really solid Zarya for your standard 3-3 composition. Yes, EscA was not the carry style of Tracer player that Seoul needed, but couple his mechanics with the micromanagement and decision making of a hero like Sombra, which he found success with during Apex Season 3, and I think we could come to a pretty firm argument to say that perhaps Zarya would have at least been serviceable. With that said, he could have been a very good Brigitte. Looking at how supportive his style of Tracer was and his natural tendency to lead, I think Seoul with EscA in its lineup playing a composition like Goats could actually be pretty terrifying. But where do you fall on the issue? Would EscA staying with the Seoul Dynasty for the first season of the Overwatch League and beyond would have helped them live up to expectations? Or would history play out as normal? Leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. As always, feel free to follow my thoughts on Twitter at Volamel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.